Up first, we are going to invite Raquel Crowley, the Central Washington Regional Community Outreach Director from Senator Murray's office. We will invite her to come and open us up with our welcome.
Well, thank you very much for that introduction. And I am surprised to see we have a lot of grown-up folks here in this forum, which is great. I was kind of also anticipating some high school students as well to join us. Will they be part? Nope. Is that no? Okay. So, well, a couple of things. First of all, I wanted to say good morning and welcome. I am sitting here in beautiful Yakima Valley. Yes, for those of us around. Just a little highlight here is that I've been receiving notifications that Kittitas County is receiving snow. So if you are traveling through the valley of Snoqualmie Pass, please make sure that you are prepared for the all-hazard weather conditions changing. So as stated, I am the regional director for U.S. Senator Patty Murray. I'm located in Yakima Valley. Well, that's where the regional office is at. There are directors throughout the state. Some of you may have been connected to other directors, and I can certainly connect you if you have not. Senator Murray was not able to join us in this particular forum summit today, but she did send me a letter to read to you all. And so today, as you gather, learn, and explore and connect on healthcare and careers essential to serving your communities, know that she is a partner with all of you, both in Washington, D.C. and the state of Washington. And she considers you all to be friends in kind as you focus on the social determinants of health. So as you know, COVID-19 has been impacting the communities of color, rural areas and urban across the nation and globally for the past year and even more. Sorry, my allergies are pretty bad right now. And even before, the Health, Education, Labor, and Pension Committee, the HELP Committee, has focused on the social determinants of health and access to health for millions of people across the nation, including expanding pathways for careers under Career and Technical Education and Workforce Opportunity Act. These are fundamental programs that are resourceful for career opportunities that jumpstart the youth and adults in school and after graduation, and also as they continue to ebb and flow into careers. These programs are critical to our communities, and she will continue to support and fight for these programs that help career pathways, the exploration, success, and opportunities. These programs are very helpful. They are wonderful, and they help participants gain access to the health and the pathways for prosperity and provides livable working wages. You may have heard, of course, courses that schools at career and technical education courses are jumpstarting our youth. There are adult programs such as the AJAX partnerships that are taking place, and a lot of work is taking place in the state with Department of Labor and Industry. So as you talk about social determinants of health that begin and start in the homes, the schools, the workplace, the neighbors, and the communities, everybody is playing an important part, and you are the future of the workforce. As our nation's hope, explore and create pathways in opportunities throughout the state and the nation, know that there will be greater opportunities forthcoming for grant opportunities and workforce development as we start to tackle the Opportunity Act of 2021. So today, as you hear from the stakeholders sharing with you the work taking place, the various careers, please accept her best wishes for a meaningful and successful event. And that's from Senator Murray. Now, knowing that there are lots of entities here, I'm sure a lot of you are probably focusing more on the renewal of the Workforce Opportunity Act and probably want some information about where we are at in the office as that progresses. So if you'd like to ask me a couple of questions, I might be able to answer for you. And I think I'll kind of leave it at that because you guys are all probably learning and exploring to the grants that just opened up and are taking a look at those as you apply for them. No questions? Oops, there's 2 in the chat, just a sec. Yes, I could provide to Senator Murray your remarks from the executive summary from the summit. I know that a lot of you guys, yes, Marianne, spring break hit the high school students, but good old technology, Zoom, some might have offered there. So yes, I would be able to send the senator's remarks from the executive summary from the summit, and even inquiries can also be shared with her as well. Were you all tracking the first FEMA piloted vaccination center here in Yakima Valley and the partnerships that are occurring with FEMA for COVID?
Yes.
That was a good thing. Other questions? I know I was anticipating youth being here, guys, so I had a lot more details for the youth to show and share a case with them.
So Raquel, I'll go ahead and just kind of shout out a question to you. So given the fact that the new administration is really focused on infrastructure, can you give us a little bit of insight into the tone in Congress around how career and technical education, particularly healthcare career and technical education, is going to help support the new infrastructure programs that President Biden and the new administration is advocating for?
There's a lot of conversations. So I see Aubrey is here. So I'll jumpstart it a couple ways. One, the House has passed a bill that created a little bit of concern for the state of Washington, because the Workforce Development Group, there is our task force that are focused on movement forward. So the House passed a bill that might actually be harmful to the state of Washington because of the work that you all are doing in advocating for pathways. So we jump-started a conversation to gather information from that House bill as we start to collect our focus for the Senate bill. So we shared with the task force, and Aubrey was part of the conversation. We started collecting that information. We are not prepared to start moving forward on a Senate bill until mid-June for Workforce Opportunity Act. So we are fact-finding. So when I say fact-finding, this is the time when your voices are really critical to the conversation and the aspirations that you hope to gain from the modification to the Workforce Act. So currently, under the Biden administration, you have probably seen the infrastructure bill. There's a lot of bills out there. So you've got the American Jobs Act that he's focused on, which is technical skills, trade skills, infrastructure building up. There are conversations around significant investment in those areas as well. But let's circle back a little bit, because we all know before the pandemic that we had significant gaps in healthcare professions, that we were significantly not meeting the mark for providers, nurses, doctors, dentists, you name, mental health professional. So COVID-19 really brought home the fact that we have a significant gap. When you were using the National Army Corps to supplement healthcare around the nation, and there's just not enough bodies to go around. That is a strong indication that we need to figure out a methodology to get fundamental skills at various levels, so that we can even get contract tracers, which could easily be accommodated with to support our public health individuals. Contract tracers, I sent around a long time ago a John Hopkins online portal that would allow folks to jumpstart folks in their community to be certified to be contract tracers, which seems to be the significant gap in our public health. I see a question in the chat. Oh, thank you for that. So there's a lot of conversations. So this is the pathway or the opportunity to start gleaning and giving us guidance on your recommendations. And I'm sorry, my allergies are so bad. If my voice is scratchy, I am medicated up, but it just doesn't seem to be working very good today. Other questions? What would you like to see happen in the bill? Because if you guys don't ask me questions, I will throw them at you.
Well, first, Raquel, what's the best way for people to provide feedback if they have any?
So the best way is email communication first and foremost, so we can jumpstart the conversation, schedule the time. So when the House passed the initial bill, I was immediately reached out to by the task force. And within a matter of 24, 48 hours, we had a meeting scheduled with our policy leads. So, and that conversation, unfortunately, please send us your Zoom link because we are signed up for a federal government Zoom connection and we only get 30 minutes. And so if you want 45 minutes to an hour with us, we have to use your connections. But there are ways to communicate with us directly. So if you're in the Everett community or region, that would be through Ann. If you're in Central Washington, that's me. There's John with Spokane. There's King County directors, there's the Tacoma and Vancouver area directors, and I can definitely send you that portal. Dennis knows how to get a hold of me. Aubrey knows how to get a hold of me. Dan does, and I don't know that I sent it into the registration pieces, but I can also send you my particular email for work or put it in the chat for you. Hi, Nova. One of my favorites.
Good morning. Good morning. Well, since you called on me, if you don't mind, I wanted to, so two things on this. So I'm Nova Gatman. I'm with the state's workforce board for folks I haven't met here. We are a couple things for Raquel. One, we as the workforce system are rapidly pulling together a group starting next week to start talking about what suggestions, changes, kind of recommendations we might have for any potential reauthorization of WIOA or the Higher Education Act. So we'll be in touch on that in terms of kind of that structure and process, and reaching out to certain folks to get you on our team as well to start pulling that together. The other question I had, and that wasn't a question, but the other point I have for you, we're looking at a number of ideas in the community project funding or with the new return for the earmarks in legislation. So wanted to check in with you and see about the senator's process on that work and kind of what you would like to see from us if we were to put something forward.
Okay, so a couple of things here, if we can just take a little second there. So we have the infrastructure bill, and we have the American Jobs Act, and we have the community project. So the Senate side has not officially convened to talk about community projects. We have done a drill around infrastructure and have got a basis of information about what the gaps and needs are for infrastructure. And so in those conversations around any lens that is taking place with the Biden administration, it is addressing marginalized communities and pathways for prosperity. So thinking about your social determinants of health and the marginalized communities is going to be a priority. Okay, so with that being said, now as community projects, we haven't had a call for it yet, which is AKA earmarks. I will tell you that every port authority in the state of Washington is thinking that means bridges, roads, economic development. But I want you to remind folks that the biggest and strongest asset that we have across this nation is our people and the investment in our people. So put that little caveat in there. So workforce development, and you probably saw some significant dollars around the American Rescue Plan. There is some dollars and cents that trickled down, and I'm hoping you all are accessing that. And fundamentally, I heard a very peculiar thing just recently with a local business. And that was that they have not had direct communication on how they can access those funds to be a partner with for folks to be trained, like so in the old world of OJTPA, on the job training, or registered apprenticeship or internship component pieces. So they would like to have a holistic outreach to get updates on the changes in L&I, the opportunities for grants, and to be community partners to get people back to work, because everyone wants to get back to work. What's this? I would, perfect. Yes, that would be great, Marianne. I believe you all have my email, right? There's lots of other ways to connect to folks. So I wanted to let you know too that as we talk about healthcare, I just recently became a grandmother for the 6th time, and like yesterday. And so thank you, Dan. The important part, thank you. The important part was the healthcare, the midwife conversation too. So that's the other, women's health is also a hot topic for our office. Other questions? Oh, thank you. I can't pronounce that name. Thank you very much.
I think that may be all of our questions this morning. Thank you so much for coming and representing representing Senator Murray's office this morning. You all have her email address. She has asked that you connect with her. She has so much information from her in her office. So make sure you take advantage of that. And thank you so much for joining us again this morning.
Thank you very much, everyone. I will be popping in and out of some of the sessions throughout because they're very intriguing. I want to leave just one little caveat here for folks. In case you didn't see it, Senator Murray has had a hearing about marginalized communities during COVID-19. She's done a health disparity conversation with public health and with public health officers. She's been talking to the Latinx community. She's been talking to the governor's office with FEMA. So there are going to be some fundamental, if anything, COVID-19 really aspirated or showcased the fact that our marginalized communities have been left behind, and we are doing a lot of work around that, and access for healthcare for all.
I know she's not in person, but can we just give her like some snaps, some claps, round of applause? Thank you so much for being with us this morning.